We moved into this home a year and a half ago, and one thing that has always bothered me is that these cabinets in the kitchen don't go all the way to the ceiling. I was spoiled in my last home with custom cabinets that went all the way up to the ceiling for a grand, beautiful look. So over the last year and a half, I have been slowly curating a collection of items that I want to display up on top of my counters. Right now, there is absolutely no rhyme or reason to how things are displayed. I just wanted to make sure I had enough to fill the space before we fully curate the look. It is the day after Christmas, and I'm looking for a new project to do as I am off for a few days into the new year. And I thought, what better time than to do my kitchen cabinets? I have finally found and thrifted and curated enough items that we can make it finally look beautiful instead of the mess that we currently have going on up there. This is part one of a multi-part series I'll be working on to update my builder grade kitchen and add in some character and functionality. First things first, I need to take everything down to see what all I have to work with and give the tops of these counters a good cleaning. They were absolutely filthy. I mean, who really ever cleans the tops of their counters anyways? I know I don't. But I'm very much a type B homeowner. We live in and we use our spaces. It doesn't always look picture perfect, and that's okay. I have everything grouped together into categories. Don't mind my crock pot. I'm multitasking, making dinner while we're at it. But I have some kind of like vessels and containers here. I have some more of my bottles. A lot of these were actually found by my husband on job site. And then we have some just like decor stuff, rolling pins, plants, cutting boards, trays, and baskets over here, so I can see everything that I have to work with. Like I said, I have been curating this collection over the last probably year or so, and there are some pieces that I want to give a bit of a makeover to. I actually already did these containers, so I will show you that. And then like this little basket here, not a fan of the bottom of it, but I loved this woven top detail. So I do want to change that up a little bit, change this up. So we are going to get into any of the things that I want to make over, give them a little update, and then we will get back to styling. When I found these canisters at Goodwill a year ago, they were blue, which didn't match the look that I thought I was going for at the time. I actually think that they would have looked good if I hadn't painted them right away and I had waited until I had sourced everything else first. But either way, I loved the raised detailing on them, and I wanted that to stand out more than it was. I'm kind of second guessing if I should just strip this paint and redo them by bringing out those details with a white paint or a wax, so let me know what you would do. I painted them off-white at first, didn't love it, and then I painted them brown, and to bring out the details more, I hand painted over them with an olive green color. And I wasn't concerned about being perfect with this step. I actually wanted it to have that hand-painted feel. The green is kind of subtle. I think that the blue and the white would add much more contrast. And I also plan on painting the kitchen a dark, moody plum or burgundy color, so this might get lost being that brown tone. But I guess I'll cross that bridge when we get there. Next, I have this wood planter box with silver corners. My mom gave this to me years ago, so it was free. I love the box, but feel like the silver makes it look a little bit too rustic and not quite the aged vintage vibe that I want. This one was an easy makeover. I just taped off all of the wood sides, and then I went over the silver with brown paint and rub and buff. I had to dab the paint on because that metal surface was super slick, otherwise it would have just wiped right off, and it has to dry fully before adding on the rub and buff or it will lift up that brown paint. I used 2 different brown acrylic paints here for some depth, and then the rub and buff helped give that aged appearance. This next one is again super easy. You don't always have to give items a crazy elaborate makeover that takes hours or even days to make it fit your home and your aesthetic. I found this large wood-based outdoor flameless candle decor at a thrift store for $10. I loved the chunky wooden base of it, but I knew that I wanted to do something different with the rest, and it's just been sitting in my craft room for a few years now. I thought I could use this as a wooden riser by simply removing that top wire and twine portion. It turned out that the wires were just drilled into the wood base, not glued down at all, so I was able to wiggle and pry them right out. That's it, easy peasy. I flipped it upside down to use as a riser, and it's perfect. For the most part, I wanted to keep the decor focused to kitchen type items or things that would make sense in a kitchen. And I sourced a few vintage rolling pins. This one had teal handles on it that didn't fit the color palette that I was using. So I used that same deep olive green paint from the canisters on these handles. Now this fits in with everything else much better. And the last piece that I gave a makeover to was this yellow box that I had showed at the beginning. I honestly didn't have a great plan for this piece, and I wasn't really sure how it would fit in with everything else to look aged. I ended up just painting it that olive green color, and I left the lid as is since I like that part exactly how it was. I did style this at first on the far end above my refrigerator, but it felt too new and didn't make sense with everything else. So I swapped it out for this large picture that I had painted in a video several months ago. I need to add something more to the box and maybe use it somewhere else in my home. For the rest of the decor, I finally removed all of those pricing stickers and cleaned the pieces really well. Now we can finally get to the fun part of styling. I think we'll start with some of the background, more taller pieces, and then layer in the front from there. That way I can evenly spread some of these pieces out that are a little bit taller, like my baskets, make sure it all looks nice and cohesive. Styling is all about trial and error, moving things around and swapping pieces out until it looks good to you. So there is this little ledge right here, and some things would sit down in there and then we wouldn't be able to see them as well. So I have some of this green insulation foam from when I built my gingerbread houses for Christmas, and it is the perfect height to just sit down in here to give some of my decor pieces a little bit of a boost. And that way it's not being covered by the lip, you're not going to see that, and it's not adding a lot of weight to the top. The only rules that I like to follow is to style in clusters, grouping odd numbers of decor together, and having a variety of heights within your groupings. This gives the eye somewhere to look and adds depth and dimension. Nothing needs to be set in stone. I swap things out all of the time. Even after filming this video, I've changed a few things out that maybe I didn't love, or I found something else that would look better. Styling is ever evolving, and so are our homes. Eventually, I do plan on building out the tops of the cabinets to take them all the way up to the ceiling, but for now, this is going to add a more lived-in and personal touch to this cold, white, and millennial gray space. Let me know your thoughts. Do you like the curated and styled, almost maximalist cabinet decor, or would you prefer a clean, minimal look until building the cabinets up to the ceiling? I think this gives my kitchen personality, and I love how it turned out. In the next video, I'll be adding even more personality and depth to the kitchen with a potentially controversial backsplash, but also adding more functionality for our everyday lifestyle. I'll see you there.